The things that I'm struggling with as I go through this journey of future-proofing my career and my life. I'm personally very fond of challenges because it's only when you overcome a challenge that you're really pushed to the next level of growth in whatever you are doing. I do see challenges as an opportunity and as something to look at in a positive light. So firstly, time is of the essence, and time is also a constraint, especially when you're working a full-time job, and especially if it's a mentally demanding job, then the time that you have left over to relax and do other life things, it's really hard to prioritize that time to then try and build something on the side. So I've been working through how to best plan out my week so that I am optimizing for doing certain tasks on certain days. So for example, I know I have more energy towards the end of the week, so I can do more creative things. Whereas at the start of the week on a Monday, I feel like I'm better doing more low energy tasks, maybe scripting videos, planning videos, doing research, or that kind of thing. There's also this dilemma of feeling like you constantly should be doing something and balancing that with knowing when is enough and when to stop, because you're not going to just be more productive based on the number of hours you spend on something. So time is always going to be a challenge. The next one, I wouldn't call a big challenge, but it's trying to figure out what is actually worth sharing on here, because I did start these videos off as a daily update, and I very quickly realized it's hard to share something very interesting or meaningful on a daily basis. So maybe I will get there at some point, but for now, I'm just sharing every 2 to 3 days when hopefully there's something more significant or I have thoughts that are worthwhile putting out there. I did start these videos as a way to keep myself accountable, so I need to strike the right balance between keeping myself accountable, sharing the progress on here, which I'm gonna do in the next video, and also just making sure I'm not doing an update for the sake of doing an update. The next struggle is a really interesting one. I'm trying to figure out what is the right balance in using AI for all the things that I'm trying to do, whether it's creating videos on YouTube, planning out those and scripting those, or if it's researching a business idea, yes, of course, I'm going to use AI to do that. But what is the right balance when it's the creativity of doing all of this that actually lights my soul on fire? But I want to balance that with being efficient, doing things as fast as possible, and also just using my brain. I don't want to lose my brain power, which I am a little bit concerned about with over-reliance on AI. We're all probably learning how to navigate this. This is definitely one that I'm being mindful of and trying to use these tools in the best way. On that note, I did actually transfer everything over from my ChatGPT to Claude. I made a point to actually set up all the relevant projects, feed Claude all the right files, and just have a fresh start. And so now I plan to use Claude dedicated to all of my future-proofing things, videos, business ideas, creating products and whatnot. And ChatGPT can just be more of a personal sounding board. And yeah, it's been really good to just separate those two. And it kind of helps me mentally switch when I'm in Claude, I'm doing things to build my future. And when I'm in ChatGPT, I might just be having a friendly chat. And the last struggle I wanted to share was one of prioritization. How do I make sure I'm focusing on the highest value things every single day? Especially when you have limited time, it's easy to get distracted and feel like you're being busy or feel like you're being productive, but it's actually just busy work. How do I make sure any task that I do in my time before work, after work, on my weekends is needle moving, high value, and is actually going to move me towards future-proofing my career? And I obviously have a very specific vision and way to measure that. It's one that I have to constantly catch myself with, not to get too excited and ahead of myself on doing this and doing that. And it's no, this is the one single thing you need to do today and nothing else matters.